Once there lived a boy in a town. One day he came to visit his grandfather during his summer holidays. He used to play with his grandpa all the time. One day he said to his grandpa, "Grandpa, when I grow up, I want to become a successful man. Can you tell me some ways to be successful?" Grandpa nodded and yes, and took Boy with him to a nearby nursery. From nursery, his grandpa bought two small plants and came back home. Then he planted one plant in a pot and kept it inside the house, and planted other plant outside the house. What do you think? Which one of these two plants will grow better in future? Grandfather asked the boy. The boy kept thinking for some time and then said, "Plant inside the house will grow better because it is safe from every danger, while plant outside is at risk of many things like strong sunlight, storm, rain, and animals." Grandpa smiled and said, "Let us see what happens in the future." After that, the boy left from there. After 4 years, the boy came to visit his grandfather again. When the boy saw his grandfather, he asked him, "Grandpa, last time I asked you a question, how to be successful in life. But you did not tell me anything. But this time, you have to tell." Grandfather smiled and said, "Sure, but first, let us take a look at the plants that we bought a few years back." After saying this, the grandfather took him to the place where he had planted a small plant in a pot. They saw that the small plant had turned into a big plant. Then he took the boy to look at the plant which they had planted outside. That plant must have faced so many dangers. Still, it grew so big, the boy said. Grandfather smiled and said, "Yes, plant outside had to face many things, but dealing with problems had benefits too. Plant outside had freedom to spread its roots. As much as it went through problems like storm and heavy rain, also made its roots even stronger. Today, it is so strong that a small storm cannot cause any harm to it, while the plant we planted inside remains small, and it's weak too, because it did not withstand the heavy storms, rain, and strong sunlight." Then grandfather looked at his grandson and said, "My son, always remember that unless you struggle in life, unless you go through difficulties, you too will not be able to achieve high in your life. If you will make comfortable choices, then you will be able to grow strong. And if you are ready to struggle and go through difficulties, then no goal is impossible for you to achieve. Therefore, never think of problems as hurdles, but think of them as stepping stones toward success." The boy took a long breath and started looking at the tree. The words of his grandfather were echoing in his mind. Obstacles, which we consider as enemies in our life, the same problems make us stronger and more successful in our life. If we observe life, then we will find that often in life we have to face challenges and difficulties, due to which many times we get disappointed and lose the courage to move forward. But this story of two plants teaches us not to be intimidated by challenges, but to embrace them as an opportunity to learn and grow. Like a plant that was planted outside had to face natural calamities, but with this, it also had the freedom to spread its roots deeper and to grow stronger, and thus it transformed itself tall and wiser.